Hey everyone, your designers are here.
I'm Anita at Cedar Hill Farmhouse.
And I'm Yvonne at Stone Gable.
And I'm Kelly at My Soulful Home. And we've got tips and tricks and decorating advice for you today. So let's get started.
Today is episode 180, Backsplashes. We have your back.
Oh, and the show notes for today's episode can be found at decoratingtipsandtricks.com/180.
I just think there are so many materials these days that you can use for backsplashes. It's just almost like the sky's the limit. And so many things, some that you can even peel and stick on your walls now. So what do you girls think?
I so agree. I really think you have to think out of the tile box. And with regard to backsplashes, there are so many new ways to configure a backsplash and new products to use, but also you can think about repurposing different products that weren't necessarily thought of as backsplash. You know, you think backsplash, people think tile, right?
Absolutely.
And that's generally what they're thinking. I mean, sometimes people have stainless or something like that, but that's really a commercial kitchen look that not a lot of people are going to go for. So, but what about using something like pressed tin, sheets of pressed tin that you might use for a ceiling, you know, and I would say just you get the smaller squares or a smaller design. Anything that you can wipe off can really be a backsplash. I mean, really anything could be a backsplash if you don't mind, you know, dealing with some dirt that might get on it. But I would strongly suggest you do something that you can easily wipe off. So it doesn't have to be tile. And in fact, when I think of a tile backsplash, I'm not in love with that idea. And I'm not sure why that became the thing, because grout is a pain in the neck to clean.
That's true. That's true. And you know what I've seen recently is wallpaper used with a Teflon coating that you can wipe it down.
And
then there's no grout.
I love that. Well, I have no grout because I just went marble. Well,
that's a nice look too. I mean, and that's another thing you can do is just whatever material, solid material is on your countertop, you can simply use that on your backsplash.
Use that up.
It's a more contemporary look, and I think it's very clean looking. And I think that's great, especially if it's marble. I love that look.
Okay, let's back up though, and why don't we talk about tile, because that is a very, very popular material to use on a backsplash. And I know that subway tiles have been in for a while, and we said they're still in and they're hot. I see the slow train coming, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to be.
She's always seeing some train in the distance.
Slow train is coming, but the subway tile is going to be sleeping in their hotel and not getting on the train.
Yeah, we're not getting on the train. We're staying.
What I'm going to say is, remember, it's not the hot thing of the moment, but it's something that's going to be used.
You know, I think it's
absolutely. It's reinvented itself.
No, I don't think we agree. Anyway, but the thing I wanted to bring up about the tile though is that not all tile is created the same. When we say tile,
it isn't.
I mean, we could spend hours talking about the different types of tile.
Good point.
I hope we're going to be talking about the different types of tile, because although ceramic tile is probably the most commonly used tile, there's so many kinds of tile that you can use. And I just want to mention my favorite kind of tile that I have in my house in the kitchen, which I adore, and that is Walker Zanger Gramercy Park. And the thing I love about it is that it's a subway tile, but it's not, just your everyday white subway tile. It's actually a Wedgwood blue color. It really reads gray, but when you get up close, there's even more detail and it's crackled. And
you know what? I
love it.
From just, looking at your blog so often, it does read gray to me.
But it's actually, it's called Wedgwood blue.
And, it depends where tile is made and how some of it's handcrafted, some of it's mass produced. There's different materials that are used. So there's all kinds of tile, from subway tile to natural stones and to composite materials. There's so many different kinds of tiles that are out there. And you really have to do your homework if you're thinking about using tile.
There's some beautiful mosaic glass tiles, I think.
Oh, yes.
You
you're
have to be
absolutely
careful,
right.
though, because you can see the grout often through the tile. So just be careful. Make sure your tile guy really knows what he's doing. But that's a beautiful look, too.
Now, here's how I feel about most things, and particularly things that are going to cost you some money or you're probably going to have to hire someone to put in. I think you go as basic as possible. And that doesn't mean you buy the cheapest tile, off the shelf at Home Depot.
Not
but
too
heck,
wild is what you're
that-
saying. Right?
Some of it's very
that
nice.
Subway tile at Home Depot
That's
is
right.
just as good as somebody else's Subway tile. I mean, it's white rectangle.
Mhm.
Hello.
Yeah,
That's
there's-
exactly
I like that
right.
too.
Exactly
What I
right.
think is that for me personally, and for longevity in a kitchen, for possible resale, and just because you might get bored of it, I would not get too crazy, and I would not go too detailed, and I would not have a lot of different, something on the diamond and, another
Mhm.
design and
Hand painted.
yeah,
See,
or
it looks dated now, some of
it
that.
looks dated,
Mhm.
or going with,
Mhm.
a certain color pattern, bring the color in some other way in your kitchen. I would say go make it as simple as possible. And I don't want my backsplash yelling at me when I walk into my kitchen.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Right. So
Yeah.
I don't
Yes.
want that making a lot of visual impact. And I don't, even if you went with a simple tile, also be very careful with the grout that you choose, because if it's noticeable, that's a heck of a lot of material that you're going to be seeing. So you're going to see each tile outlined if you're doing a colored grout.
Or go groutless.
Well, and
Or
Kelly,
go grout.
Mhm.
Go groutless.
that sounds
Take that every way you want.
a little airy. I don't know, breezy.
Yes, just a little
So,
air about you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You know what I was thinking about too when we were talking about the backsplash is, remember not that long ago,
Mhm.
everyone did a pattern of something of the tiles different right behind the stove.
I have that, and I
Oh.
do not like it.
Well,
Ugh.
see, and when we were building,
I
our
bet there
house-
are some murals of Tuscany.
I
out
know.
there.
And anyway, when we were building our house, they kept saying, the tile people and the builders, like, don't you want something decorative behind the stove? And this was, 2013. I said, no. I mean, I hadn't really seen any without something
Mhm,
behind it, but I
mhm.
said, no, I just want it clean. I want it simple. I said, no, just do it plain. And I'm so thankful I did, because now that, like, nobody's using those that anymore.
No. I have beadboard because I have a pretty much an upscale farmhouse kitchen, and I have some different tiles because I just didn't want to deal with beadboard behind my
Well,
stove.
you can't put that, you can't.
But
you
I
can't put it
went
behind the
with
stove anyway.
but my tile does have a pattern to it, nothing that you would, not a picture or anything like that. I don't like it, and I am changing. I mean, we're in the process of doing 2 projects at once, so that may not be for a little while yet. But this is a perfect episode for me because I am definitely going to change my whole backsplash. I'm tired of the beadboard, and I do want something, and I'm looking at something very basic. Although what's screaming at me right now is that black and white, that beautiful, it looks like it's hand chalked, painted. I love that look. I've seen it on floors. I've seen it on like backsplashes, but I think it's just going to be too busy for my house.
So you're looking at what? I didn't understand.
that black and white tile
That's patterned?
yes.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
so beautiful. But
Yeah,
I
I think it's
just
going to be
can't
too.
do it. No, I agree.
That reads.
That's going to be on a
Harlequin to
fast
me.
train out of here pretty
I
soon.
love that. But
Forget the
But-
slow train.
I mean, for me, for my style, that would work very beautifully, but it just would be too much. My kitchen is not that colorful, and I just think that's all you'd see.
Right. That's all you would see. So you have to be
Mhm.
really careful about that. Now, removing tile from a backsplash is not an easy process either. So there is an option to paint it. And we have a blogger friend who has let us know, Jeanette from the Two Seasons blog. She blogs with her daughter, which I think is so fabulous. Her daughter has painted over her backsplash to great success. And also our friend Jessica V, a listener. Jessica was working on her bathroom and had asked me some questions, and I helped her pick out her grout, and she sent me these pictures. Oh my gosh, her bathroom is absolutely unbelievable.
What did she pick out?
Oh, it's just gorgeous, but that's bathrooms. We can't talk about that today.
Oh,
but Jessica,
tile.
in the same email, wanted to let us know that she had painted her backsplash 3 years ago. She primed it and then used wall paint, and she faked the grout lines.
Oh.
And it looks fantastic and holds up in a very active kitchen for 3 years. So that is an option as well.
Yes, that is an option. Here's another. I love the look, and dare I say, it was from Amy Howard, and I'll put that in the show notes. There was no backsplash. She had glass pieces cut to fit between the cabinetry and do you remember seeing that?
Well,
and
are you talking about
countertop?
She did that etching on it?
She painted the reverse side.
Oh, cool.
And then she put them up, and all you do is Windex them, or what was it, 7th generation or method or whatever it was, them down, and they were gorgeous.
Yeah, you're right. That's a fantastic
And that was a
option.
DIY. And I mean, very inexpensive DIY.
Right. And then you're going to call your local little glass guy. Like I call my guy all the time to cut mirrors and stuff like that. And they're going to look at you like sort of sideways. And you're going to say, oh, no. Yes. I mean, I want you to cut glass to fit between my cabinets and my counter.
Or big box stores will, I think, up to 40 inches. Don't quote me on that, but I think. So I think you can just go to a big box store and they'll do it too for you.
Right.
And
like a Lowe's and
it's just like we say all the time. You need a guy. You need these connections.
But I think I would go to my local Lowe's or Home Depot and have that cut. I've gotten glass cut at Lowe's all the time.
Oh, okay.
I've never had a problem.
There, but if you don't have somebody,
mirror.
If you don't have somebody, I like to go to any realtor friends I have to get recommendations on any workmen, plumbers, electricians. I've gotten so many good people.
My dear friend, my real estate agent and dear friend, Lynette, she always asks me for my people.
That's hilarious.
You have the guys.
I got the guy.
Well, when you move someplace, you don't have a guy. But
no,
yeah, you're right.
It's so nice because when I first moved here, I didn't have the guy, and that was really the only time I had somebody, really helping me initially. But then about a month later, I figured out I made friends with all the subs, and I didn't need him anymore, so I had to break up with him. But another option, and I have not seen this happen, but I am certain it can be done. It has different names, but it's generally the same idea. And I'll tell you that the name I know it under is Ceramicoat. Now that is the professional coating of tile. I've done this, not myself. The people, seriously, I mean, this is nothing good for the person doing it, or I'm sure, at the moment when it's being done, the environment, because it's chemicals. So the guy comes in like a hazmat suit, but we had the tile coated in our last house because it was really ugly and I didn't want to pull it all off.
So this is like a paint?
It's a coating, and it's not a paint. I don't even know what you would call it.
But it changed the look of the tile.
How does it change the look?
Well, I made these green and black tiles all white.
Oh,
but they didn't have a texture. They were smooth.
Yeah, they were smooth porcelain tiles.
Okay.
I don't know, how it would work, but you can do it on sinks. You can do it on bathtubs. I'm sure you've all, everybody has seen this
to have
ad
a bathtub
somewhere.
recoated. Sure,
right?
Sure.
But you could. Why wouldn't you be able to have that done to a tile backsplash? I bet you could.
Wow. Yes.
So that would be, it's very, very durable. But here, we have two people already telling us that regular painting holds up. This would definitely hold up, and it covers the ground. So you may or may not like that idea. But, if you're in the market for changing your backsplash and you don't want to tear it all out, you could have one of these companies come. Again, it was Ceramicoat in my area. If you just Googled, bathroom refinishing, tile refinishing, you could probably find someone in your local area that would do it and just get an estimate on what that might cost.
That's a good idea. Really, any metal, like I've seen backsplashes done in copper, and they're almost like 3D, but again, we're just giving you ideas. That's something that I would say, hey, steer clear from, unless you want that to be the focal point of your kitchen.
Don't you just love a great recommendation from a friend? Well, we're delighted to be recommending these companies and their wonderful products to you today. And let them know your friends at DTT sent you. Green Chef is a delicious delight any time of year, but especially during the holidays. What a wonderful vision to behold as the Green Chef boxes on your doorstep. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well. And it makes eating well so easy with plans to fit every lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat a more balanced diet. So let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season. And if you've got guests coming, shop Green Bundles. They're now available at the Green Market. It's your one-stop shop for nutritious grab-and-go breakfasts, including vegan options, brunch kits, wholesome lunches, ready-to-eat snacks, veggie sides, and more. You can feel your best this December and do your best with Green Chef because they offset 100% of the delivery emissions as well as 100% of the plastic in every box. Go to greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT and get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT to get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. Inevitably, with the new year come wellness goals. One very effective and easy to reach goal is to add Dose to your wellness regime. Dose is expertly formulated organic wellness shots that support your liver in one delicious drink. Formulated with ingredients clinically shown to support liver health. Potent turmeric, milk thistle, and ginger. There's 0 sugar and 0 calories. Did you know that your liver performs over 500 special functions? Since I learned all that my liver is doing, I started with Dose to support all those vital functions. I take a shot of refreshing Dose 2 times per week to combat everyday toxins from food, meds, alcohol, and unhealthy air. Since starting with Dose about a month ago, I am definitely feeling an overall improvement in my health. So if you want to give Dose a shot and invest in your health like I have, Dose is offering DTT listeners 15% off your first order, plus an additional 15% off if you subscribe for a monthly delivery. That's 30% off your first order. So go to dosedaily.co/DTT and use the code DTT. That's dosedaily.co.co/DTT and use the code DTT.
And something else you can do is they have peel and stick tiles now that I've seen advertised. Right? Yes. Very, we're talking paper thin, and they come in just almost like a grouping, like just you would put down maybe 4 rows, and then they have they sort of interlock together. The sides they're not cut completely, like they don't all end together, the tiles. There's some that maybe stick out a little longer and some that just don't finish quite as far out, and they interlock, and you can put them.
I have a box of those.
Do you really?
Well, yeah, because we got them last time we were in Haven, and then so they sent me those.
That's
and
right.
I'm going to put them in the laundry room, and so I'll let you guys know how they go. But they're beautiful.
See, so Kelly, I think that a laundry room might be a better application for those. I'm just picturing it with spaghetti sauce splashed on it and having to clean out every little crevice. I think
they are. Yeah, I know, but they are.
So
but they are. They say they're for kitchen use.
Well,
so.
no, I know, but I'm just saying if something awful got splashed on it, it would be a job to clean it out. That's what
Yeah, it
would
might
be.
be. And I chose the honeycomb one, so mine are small, and there's, they're almost like the small hex tiles that we like for the floor. They're
and they're
that
stone?
size. No, mine are brushed
Oh, yours are
metal.
metallic looking.
Uh-huh.
Oh, see, now that would be easier to clean. I think that would work.
And
better
that would
in the
be
kitchen.
very pretty in a laundry room.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll let you guys know how that goes. The thing is that as I said before, I really don't like my backsplash to do much of the talking, if you will, in my kitchen. It kind of like, I like it to look nice and to flow with the cabinets, and it almost to look like all, it's all working together in one sort of flowy, uniform thing. So the other thing I don't like about backsplashes, and I think this sometimes just happens to people because the electrician says it has to, or because they move into a house where there are a lot of outlets. There are outlets like every 4 feet on your counter.
I
on your
think
backsplash.
that's code. I think that's code.
Well,
right?
but I have a way around it. Lawyers and loopholes. We can get around it. Okay. So if you have that, there's probably not too much you can do about it because it's difficult to remove them. And then you would still have to put a plate over it for safety reasons and whatnot. So then you do what Anita and I did in Texas is you put a tall vase, or you should put a crock with some spatulas or things like that in the, in front of your outlets. And, you have the couple that you used. I don't really think there's too many people that are using every outlet in their kitchen, for various appliances at all times. So there's probably a lot that you have that are exposed that you aren't using. So if you're in a situation where you can make changes or you're doing a kitchen, think about using a plug mold. A plug mold is a thing that an electrician can get at an electrical supply store. You can even get on Amazon. It's just a long, thin, think of kind of like one of those, those extra plug-in things like the long ones that you can get. You know what I'm saying? What are those things called? But this is really thin and long. And probably every 4 to 6 inches, there's an outlet. And it's maybe 2.5 to 3 inches wide. And it goes up under your cabinets.
I think it's a fantastic
So you
idea.
don't see them. And then if you do cabinet lighting, like I did, you just put the cabinet lighting in front of it, and you don't see that either.
Oh, okay.
So then when you want to plug something in, you just lean under and you plug in your coffee maker or your
And you have a
can
plug
opener.
And you have a plug almost anywhere you stab the plug up into.
I think it's a
if they're that
brilliant
close
idea.
apart.
Right. So in
I
my
love
kitchen, there's just the marble there. And I didn't want them cutting the marble, every few
yes,
feet. I mean, what if it cracked
I
or something
know.
like that?
I know.
And they're just, to my mind, I mean, if they're there, they're there. But if you can avoid it. Because, lots of times people have a tile, and then you have a very limited choice of colors for the covers for the outlets. So you're really dealing like white, black, beige.
That's true.
Or I guess you could, so that then sometimes they kind of custom them. But there's no way hiding that there's an outlet there. There's a disruption in your backsplash.
Yeah. Oh, I love this idea. And I didn't have that idea. I just told them to turn the outlets sideways and put them really low.
Well, smart.
So that I could cover them with some bowls. But I wish I had done what you did and just had them put them underneath the cabinets, because then you wouldn't have to look at them at all. And you're right. I really don't. I end up hiding my outlets too, putting bowls and
Sure.
I know
vases
you
and
hide
things
your
in front.
outlets. I know that about you.
I know, of course.
And it
well, we all
sounds-
do.
It sounds like I'm going to have to get not only somebody to install the backsplash, but now I'm going to have an electrician to do a little extra work.
Oh,
Because that is such a good idea.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I assume if you're taking yours off, what you're doing, Yvonne, that they could just move. They just would,
Cap it off. Yeah.
Yes, cap that off with
Yeah.
those little plastic things, and then close it off, and then you put your stuff in front of it, and then you move it up.
Oh, yeah. That's a wonderful idea.
Yeah, they just have to run some new wire, but they can do that. Electrician can do that.
They can do it.
They can
I
do
know.
Anyone can
anything.
do that. Yes,
I know.
Yes.
Well, girls, what do you think about using different, like I know that you have like you said, a gray, but other than that, like using bright colors like reds and blues and all of those colors in your backsplashes.
Well, I wouldn't mind a soft blue, but it's like,
no, we're talking about bright, like cobalts. And how some people have like that, they just have these gorgeous bright or just bold, but it's nothing like glass or anything like that. They're usually subway tiles and they're just a really bright statement all around.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't do that in my house.
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid I
don't you think it depends on your style?
Well, of course it depends on your style, but the other thing is, that's the thing with tile. It's very expensive to put in. So it's not something easily changed if you change your mind later on. So yeah, it would make a great statement if you want that, but I would be concerned about, those of us that love decorating are always wanting to change things up, and that's not changeable without spending a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. That's very true.
I mean, the only way I could see you maybe doing that is, as you're saying it, I was sort of picturing a very classic color. So maybe navy is your go-to color. You're always going to love navy. Or maybe your house is by the water, and so you kind of flows with that whole idea.
Blue aqua.
Yeah. And then, so maybe you do an all-white kitchen and that's your pop. But I wouldn't do, navy tile and then on the diamond tiles with little sailboats on them or something. Like I would do all navy. The best, the prettiest tile I could afford, the nicest quality. And then maybe, you do a matching grout or something like that. Or I like that idea that you mentioned about Amy Howard, because it's, again, like it's a solid thing. So it's not going to be so busy with different tonalities in each tile and then a grout coloring, so it's all solid.
I think that could be quite
stunning. That idea. Well, I love that idea of a solid background, like you were saying, like Amy did, or even like a solid marble, because I feel like it's
easy to clean.
It's just it's a cleaner, simpler look.
And maybe if you have tile now that you really are like, I'm done, I don't like this, or I moved in and this was somebody else's choice, which so often happens in a kitchen.
It does. You're right.
I think so many people like, I'm going to sell my house. So, they do the let's renovate the kitchen. That is the silliest thing to do. Anybody's trying to sell their house, because your taste is not going to be the next person's taste. I'm 99% sure they would have picked out a different granite or a different backsplash than you or something like that. So I wouldn't put my money in there and hope to get it back. And then if you're the purchaser, now you've paid extra money for this kitchen that you don't really like.
And you're going to have to redo it or paint
or
it or do whatever.
Right?
That's right.
So if you find yourself in that situation and okay, we just bought this house, or we bought this house a few years ago, the kitchen is on the list. And I really truly can say in my heart of hearts, I hate this backsplash tile. Why don't you give it a try and paint it? And if you don't want to live with painted tile, then going forward, at least you have an idea of what you'd like. Maybe you think I want to go bold on the backsplash. Well, maybe paint it a bold color and live with it for 6 months.
That's a very good idea.
Try the white and see. Is it so? Every time my kids make a sandwich, I see it, and that's going to make me crazy. I thought I wanted white. Well, guess what? I don't.
Well, I saw that very bold. I saw like a very bold aqua in the most beautiful house. And throughout the house, they had these touches of this aqua.
Bam. That's it.
Yeah.
That's
and I thought it was striking, but that's not everybody's style. But, I just thought it was so beautiful. So if that's sort of your look, that would be a great thing to do. Just give it a coat of paint.
I think sometimes what happens, maybe this is just me. So let me know if you find this too. I go into a lot of houses, right, for clients or, just, being out in life and whatever. We all do. I find a lot of times the person's kitchen has nothing to do with the rest of their house.
Oh, I so agree.
Look like it.
It doesn't work with the rest of the house.
It looks like a kitchen designer made it. And they have these are the cabinets and here's your your kind of woodsy greens and mossy tiles, and here's your special tile behind the stove kind of
stuff. Is that
like,
because it's dated? Is that someone else designed it?
I don't know. I think people maybe they I'm going to harken back to our other Unkitchen episode. I think people think, oh, it's the kitchen. So you go to a kitchen designer and then you're given like, oh, here are your 5 choices. Or it's, a builder house, right? And they say, oh, here's your choices for the tile. And they're all, in the same sort of earthy tones or something like that.
I think now you can get anything in white though. I do.
Probably, but maybe this is, a little bit of time ago.
They didn't see that.
Kitchen I'm seeing,
yeah.
right?
Right.
And so I think your kitchen should really integrate with the rest of what's going on in your house.
And I think that's the key word. It has to integrate.
Go ahead, clean out your closet, then head straight to Quince. I love every item Quince offers, from wardrobe to decor. And I can really recommend their Ultra Stretch Super Wide Leg Pant at $49.90. The price is unbeatable, and the look is so flattering. It keeps you in on top and flares out of the bottom. Everything feels right with Quince. The price, the quality, and the sustainability. Quince offers a range of luxury wardrobe and home goods at prices within reach. And like Quince's clothing, their home goods are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. Once you've cleaned out your closet and refreshed with Quince, you can also add something to your home decor. So give your wardrobe and your home the refresh it needs with Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns on your next order. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT. And let me know how you love those pants. Pesto pork chops over Parmesan polenta. Not that easy to say, but oh so easy to make with Green Chef. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit company for eating well, and we have such a great deal for you. You're going to save $250. Listen on for the details on that. Green Chef makes eating well easy for any lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat more balanced meals. We're getting into the busy holiday season, so it's a perfect time to have Green Chef help you out. Let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season with their chef-crafted, nutritionist-approved recipes featuring fresh ingredients and nothing artificial. And you know what? You don't have to lose track of your healthy eating habits during the holidays. Every Green Chef customer gets a free session with their registered dietitians who will walk you through how to make clean eating work for you. So sign up for your free session and start on the road towards better health today. And that deal I want to tell you about, visit greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. So that's greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order.
But also, I think the other thing that's happening is that the kitchens were designed a long time ago, and a lot of people, either can't afford to redo it or they're just kind of waiting to save money to do it. I mean, it's a big expense. So that's, I think, something that they end up doing last. After, so maybe they're keeping their pillows and their sofa updated, but then they're like, I'll deal with the kitchen, 10 years from now. I just want to deal with it now.
Now, for me, I'd be saving my pennies forever because that'd be the first thing I'd want to attack.
Well, I'm sitting, as I am recording, we were in our mountain house and we bought it for retirement, and the house has got this great view, but inside I want to redo everything. And I'm looking at the golden oak cabinets in the kitchen and the Formica countertop and the coil top stove. So it's got, I've got a lot of fun projects.
Anita, we'll come down for a weekend and knock out those golden oak cabinets.
So like with a sledgehammer, or you mean?
No, we'll paint them.
Yeah. Yes. But think about that. I mean, it doesn't have to be a huge expense. I mean, I know you're not going to retire for because you're only 29. I mean, what is that? Like you have 40 years or something to do this kitchen. So you've got some time on your hands to do it and think about it. But say somebody wants to change their kitchen, in a week. paint your cabinets
Yep.
and take Jeanette and Jessica's advice, and we're backing them up because they wouldn't lie to us. Paint your backsplash.
Yes, yes.
Bam. You
Okay.
changed it.
That really, I think, is tip of the day. So we have to give it to our 2 blogging friends.
Let's give it.
Mhm,
And
absolutely.
okay, so we all have to
I
make
don't
the
have my
sound.
bell
Ding,
with
ding,
me,
ding, ding,
but
ding,
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 ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
That's old school DTT when we used to just do
Right.
that.
No, that's right.
And
I know.
I think maybe the first thing you should do is, if you don't like the color of your backsplash, or like I'm even thinking, wow, what if I paint that design that's on my, it's beautiful, natural stone tile. What if I paint that all the same color, like all white to match my beadboard? Could I live with that for a little while?
Yes.
I may give that a try.
Well, what time is it? You have time today. Well, here it's only 1:11 my time. It's later by you.
Yeah,
but-
it's like 4:11 mine. But I could get the stuff today and do it tomorrow.
Well, drink
And,
lots
oh my
of coffee.
gosh, my husband's
lots of coffee,
off.
Yvonne.
I have a project for him.
Oh,
Yes.
Bobby.
Yes. Oh, Bobby.
Yes. What is it? Busy Bobby.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I may text him and warn him to stay at work a little bit longer today.
There's a medical emergency, or you have to come home and paint the backsplash.
There you go. There you go. No, there's not enough doctor's rooms tomorrow, so he's got to come home or sit in his office.
Oh, that sounds good. Well, I've enjoyed hanging out with you and with you listening, and with Kelly and Yvonne. It's always fun to talk about decorating, and I'm just full of ideas for my kitchen. So it's so fun to kind of dream up what you want to do and put some plans together. So thanks so much for hanging out with us. And remember, we're here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time.
Hey, everybody, we want to thank you so much for listening to Decorating Tips and Tricks. And we want to make it even easier for you to listen. And it's easier if you subscribe. You just click the subscribe button on our website, www.decoratingtipsandtricks.com, or you can subscribe through Apple Podcast or any of your favorite podcast listeners. When you subscribe, DTT comes free right to you 3 days a week. So until next time.